thinking that all those tensions that came to the fore after the US election, it's going to dominate things.
Absolutely, but there could be more to come, and we might know what Trump might like to do in terms of national security, trade, foreign policy, but we don't really know what is going to be the response of the other side, the Chinese, the Europeans, and so on. So uncertainty, I think here it's the rule of the day, and the uncertainty is going to accelerate from the 20th of January onwards, as you have seen, as you were mentioning before about recent remarks about Panama, Greenland, and so on. I think we should get used to an environment where the norms and the rules that we have taken for a long time granted, the role, that they frame business, they provide a backdrop since the Second World War. There is a huge shift. These rules will be changing. We're going to see lots of political activism from Trump from the early days. It's going to be a very early momentum, and this is going to create a very significant amount of uncertainty.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't mind things being shaken up. Like the post-Washington consensus, or the Washington consensus of the late 1940s as well, whether we're talking about the WTO, the IMF, the World Bank, a lot of this, Wolfango, and I think you'd probably agree, isn't fit for purpose in the 21st century when we've got different powers in different positions as well. We do want things shaken up a bit, don't we?
Yes, but it will be ideally in an environment where maybe it's concerted, where there is a certain element of predictability, where especially it's not just a zero-sum game. And that I think the message that is coming from Washington is somewhat different. So that is the issue, especially in an environment where you have already plenty of uncertainty. You have an economic backdrop that, as your report suggested, is not particularly strong. So that creates all sorts of complication and uncertainty to businesses.
Yeah, but you know, I look at Europe, and I look at Europe
Yes.
under the Biden administration, where Biden's had CHIPS Acts, IRA, vast amount of inflows. I couldn't see any reason why my guests would want to invest in Europe compared with the United States. The conditions were so much better. Spin forward to 2025, we've got Letta, we've got Orcel, we've got Italians galore. You know, you're in Bologna. We've got Draghi, who are proposing better Europe. This is a natural reaction to what we're seeing elsewhere. That's a good thing, isn't it?
There is lots of talk about that. There is no money, and above all, there is no political will. So again, all the noise about the Draghi report, the Letta report, didn't last that long. And if you look around in Europe, who's going to push for this kind of measures and ideas? There is no government in Germany. We might get one. Best case scenario, the end of March, early April. Very best case scenario. Macron is a lame duck. There is a minority government in Spain, and I can go on. So yes, we have heard in the past about all these beautiful reports with very good ideas, but the political will is there. And you made a comparison to the past. Well, if you go back 10 years ago, we were still talking about banking union, capital market union, and right now there is no real chance that any of the two will see the light at the end of the day. So that is where we are in Europe at this point. Lots of noise, but not much action. And I think most importantly, the political majorities which are required to have some actions, significant action in terms of further integration, productivity, pushing ahead with the green story, pushing ahead with the defense funds. These political majorities are very difficult to achieve in any election across Europe in these days.